That's right. We back with another one. Another tier list. I've actually been having a lot of fun doing tier lists, and again, doing tier lists allows me just to slowly get back into making videos while I'm still working on my aces. Nothing. They still working on it. I promise. I can't really say I promise, but I'm trying to get Mugen back up and running. I'm really trying. So please just continue to bear with me as I get through this. But while you guys wait, how's about another Sonic tier list? Okay, we haven't done one of these in a while. Last time we did these was a Sonic difficulty tier list. For this tier list specifically, as you can see on screen, we're going to be dealing with each individual Sonic Unleashed stage. As you can see in Haven't Played, these are all the DLC stages that I do not have access to because I have not bought the adventure packs. I have them all in my cart, ready to go, but I have not bought these. These DLC stages, from what I've seen on footage, these are hard. These are harder than probably some of the hardest stages in the base game, but we'll get there when we get there, okay? So, let's start. So, we're going to start from D tier and work our way all the way up to S tier. S tier are for the levels that are extremely difficult. Okay, this tier list is based on difficulty, by the way. So D tier is going to be actually. Hold on, wait a minute. I can't figure this out. Do easy down here. Put this in. Don't do this medium. Hard. Very hard. And then extreme. I didn't spell easy, right? Jeez. Okay. Does that seem fair? Okay, that seems fair. Okay, so let's start with the easy tier. I'm going to put Windmill Isles Day Act 1, Windmill Isles Day Act 2, Windmill Isles Night Act 1, Savannah Citadel Day Act 1. I'm gonna do Rooftop Run Act 1 as well. These are just the easy ones, okay? Actually, let me see if there's any other Act 1 I could put. Act 2. Yeah, Apollo's Windmill Isles Act 2, Night Act 2 is also pretty easy as well. Okay, so let's start with Windmill Isles Act 1. Windmill Isles Day Act 1 is your basic tutorial stage. Getting through the level, that's easy. Getting the airstream, getting this level, depending on how leveled up your Sonic is, it depends. But this level is piss easy. It's a tutorial level, and it basically gets you used to the controls. Windmill Isles Day Act 2 is the main act for this particular stage. And this stage is pretty simple. It's a pretty simple stage. The challenge is not too challenging. If you don't have the attention span of a goldfish, you should be able to clear this no problem. Same thing goes for Windmill Isles Night Act 1. Windmill Isles Act Night 1 is also a tutorial level. It's a tutorial level to help you get used to the Werehog. Stage isn't too difficult. The boss fight at the end, with the Titan might give you a little bit of a challenge in the early game, but on repeated run-throughs of the stage, you can literally blitz through the stage with no problem. Same thing goes for Act 2. Act 2 is more puzzle-based because you have to open, you start off in a circular area, you have to open every single door to find a gem for each of the colored switches in the area. But aside from that, the stage isn't too difficult. Savannah Citadel Act 1. Also, I find it to be easy. It's not difficult. Again, on your first playthrough, it might give you some challenge, but on repeated playthroughs, you can literally blow through this stage with literal ease. And Rooftop 1 and Rooftop Run Day Act 1, pretty easy too. Another pretty easy stage. Again, the one part of the stage that might give first timers a bit of trouble is going to be probably towards the end when you're using the robots when you're boosting into robots to knock the little droids in the air out that shoot lasers at you. That part might give you a bit of practice, give you a bit of trouble. or maybe even the grind rail section towards the end where you have to dodge those lasers from those set droids. But other than that, Rooftop Run Day Act 1, another pretty simple one. Alright, next up we go to medium difficulty. These are for stages that aren't too difficult. These aren't difficult, but the challenge is starting to ramp up. So we got Windmill Isles Day Act 3, Savannah Citadel Day Act 3. Let's see. I think this is Rooftop Run Day Act 3. And I'm trying to think which other one can I put in there. I think there's gotta be one more, right? Gotta be one more. Maybe. Yeah. Rooftop Run Night Act 1. Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's start from Windmill Isles Day Act 3. If you play this stage, if you played Sonic Frontiers, this stage should be familiar to you. If you are grinding on rails suspended above a bottomless pit. One wrong jump, one wrong move, that's a lodge back to the start. Because the only checkpoint is towards the end of the stage, by the way. But this stage this stage is challenging because it tests your boost, it tests your boost management and your jump velocity, so to speak. But again, a repeated playthrough is a stage related piece of cake, but first run through could give you a bit of trouble. Savannah Citadel Act 3, Savannah Citadel Day Act 3. This stage is the first of like 2 lap stages where you have to run around the same stage 3 times in order to get to the goal. The stage is fun. I'm getting around. The stage is fun, but you gotta be fat. Your reaction time has to be spot on if you want to dodge some of those oncoming obstacles. Gosh, my brain is literally oozing out of my shoes right now. But again, the stage is in medium because it's not too difficult, but it does give you a bit of a challenge because again, you still have to, your reflexes have to be on point. Rooftop Run Act 3. This just requires that you find 3 Chow. This just requires that you find a certain number of Chow throughout the level. This more so tests your platforming skills than anything else. There is a bottomless pit there are 2 bottomless pits that can easily catch you if you're not careful. But other than that, if you can avoid those bottomless pits, you can easily get S-Rank on here very easily, okay? And as for Rooftop Run Night 1, the difficult part of this stage is to climb up the clock tower. That's the most difficult part of that stage. But other than that, the stage really doesn't have much challenge. There are a ton of enemies that spawn your way that you do have to take care of, but nothing that you can't handle. And if you've been leveling up your Warthog, you should be fine. Should be totally fine. Okay, now we're on to hard. These stages are for stages that are quite challenging and are going to test your skills. They're not going to test your skills as much as the hard and extreme levels, but you know what I mean. So we have Dragon Road Day Act 1. We have Rooftop Run Day Act 2. We have Eric Sands Day Act. Was that? Does it say Act 1? Yeah, Act 1. We have Skyscraper Scamper Day Act 1. And we have Cool Edge Act 1. And Night Act 1, by the way, also. And Shamar Night Act 1. I could put this one in medium. This one's not. This one's awesome. I put this one in medium. This one's not too difficult either. Well, no, I'll put it in hard. I'll put that one hard as well. I'll explain it in a minute. And we could do Missouri. No, we could do Missouri Act 1 in medium as well. definitely Act 2 goes up here. Act 2 definitely. Act 2 for Rooftop for Savannah Citadel Day goes up here. I'm trying to think. What? Could I do Jungle Joyride Night Act 1? Nah, not really. You know what? I'm pretty fine with hard mode this way. Okay, let's start with Dragon Road Day Act 1. This stage is hard because again, it tests your reflexes. This stage is pretty short. You can blast through this stage pretty fast if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you can run and you don't run out of boost over the water acts like a bottomless pit. If you run out of boost, you're gonna fall, you're gonna drown, you're gonna eventually drop. The hardest parts of this stage, is definitely the platforming. Especially on the spinning platforms at like the beginning of the stage, the middle of the stage, and then the last half of the stage where you have to run away from the Smasher bot. Those are probably the three most difficult portions of Dragon Road Day Act 1. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward stage, but your reflexes must be on point. Rooftop Run Day Act 2. This stage literally. This is the only stage I have lower than I have a D on it, and I do not care. This stage requires literally perfect timing, okay? Like, it requires perfect timing on basically all your homing attacks. And watch your footing. Because this stage happens across a bottomless pit. And it's 2 laps, by the way. It's 2 laps. You have to do 2 laps around this of careful platforming. So, be careful on this stage, please. Arid Sands Act 1, Day Act 1. This stage can be difficult. This stage is difficult only because of those pillars. Like, the 2 pillar sections can make and break an S run. Like, literally, if you get through like the first half of the stage, then you get through that. If you can get through that first pillar stage with at least, say, 600, at least 500 to 600 range, you're still pretty good for that S rank run. But that second pillar, that shorter pillar section towards the end of the stage, that's the deal breaker. If you get hit at all at that, that S rank run is done. Restart, try it again. Again, it's difficult. This stage is difficult because you have to for all these stages in hard, your reflexes for the daytime stages have to be on point, essentially. And the same cannot be said enough for Skyscraper Scamper Act 1. Skyscraper Scamper Act 1. This stage tests your drifting. This stage tests your drifting very early, okay? This stage tests your drift. This stage puts your drifting skills to the test. Not so more. Actually, let's actually talk about Savannah Citadel Act 2 first, actually. Because this stage puts your drifting skills to the test. This stage almost killed me because the drift isn't the best in this game. It's not the best in Unleashed. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the best. But it's not the worst. Again, it just requires you have to drift with perfect timing. That's about it. And for Skyscraper Scamper, again, the drifting has to be on point, and the reflexes have to be on point, and your platforming skills need to be sharpened as well. But S rank run on this is very possible. It is easy to do. As long as you have been honing your skills throughout this entire game. If you need to, run this stage as many times as it takes for you to practice, okay? Practice. Coolidge Act 1. The only reason why I put it in the hard is because ice physics. Ice physics throughout the entire stage. Actually, now that I think about it, this stage really isn't too difficult. I'll put it in medium, actually, now that I think about it. And the same thing can be said about Coolidge Night Act 1. Both these stages really aren't too difficult. Again, the ice physics pose a challenge, but this stage doesn't do anything too challenging. There's again, I guess the only difficult portion of this stage is again the ice physics. Probably at the beginning, probably during the early half of the level. But again, it's not terrible. Okay, it's not terrible, and you can definitely handle it. Same thing with Cool Edge Knight Act 1. The ice physics make it challenging, but again, not difficult. And just to kind of cut back to hard, I apologize about that. To go back to the hard stages, we have Arid Sands Night Act 1. The stage is hard because it takes forever. It takes forever to finish. You start, like, you have a ton of wizards to take out. And you're going to be locked into rooms where you have to take out a ton of enemies, okay? If you're trying to do the survival hot dog challenge on this, good luck. That's all I'm going to say. And there's a hidden room towards the middle of the stage after you get one of the gems that if you go in there, you're locked in there with a bunch of enemies. And if you're trying to go for a fast dash strength run, just don't go up there. That part of the stage is not needed. If you play Sonic Unleashed, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so next up we have the extreme level. We have the very hard levels. These are levels that will test. These are levels that will further push your skills to the test. Okay, these are levels that are going to probably make you possibly throw away for your controller. So we have Jungle Joyride Act 1. We have Dragon Road Day Act 2 and 3. We have Arid Sands Act 2, Cool Edge Act 2, Skyscraper Scamper Day Act 2, Jungle Joyride Day Act 2, Jungle Joyride Day Act 3, Savannah Citadel Night Act 2 as well, Dragon Road Night Act 1, I'll put it in hard, and I'll put it in that, put Act 2 as well. I'll put this also in hard, that's Jungle Joyride Night Act 1 and Act 2, put those, actually I could put Act 2 in just medium, that's not too difficult at all. And that's about it. Alright, so starting off with Jungle Joyride Act 1. Literally, the whole reason why I wanted to record this video, because I literally, at the time you're recording this, it is currently, let me grab my phone. It's currently January 4th at 7:38. I literally just got finished doing an S-rank run, literally about, let's say 20 minutes ago. That's why I'm recording this. I literally did an S-rank run on this very stage. Had to restart a couple times, but eventually I did get an S rank. Getting an S rank on this stage is easily one of the best feelings in this entire game. If you can handle the vast amounts of slowdown this stage is going to put you through. If you can handle it, if you can master it, if you can master this stage and master all of the daytime hot dog trials, especially the time trials, oh man. If you can master the time trials on any of these stages, you're a god. Specifically. Now we got Act 2. I don't remember Act 2. Hold on, I got the game open right now. I can actually go look and see if I remember what Act 2 is all about. Cause I haven't played Act 2 in probably forever. I probably haven't played this stage in forever. I'm not even gonna count. I gotta see on this level. Wait, isn't this a lap stage? Isn't Act 2 like a lap stage, I think it is, isn't it? I don't remember, but I got a C rank, so apparently I thought the stage was pretty tough, I think, so that's why I put it in very hard. Same thing for Act 3. I don't remember Act 3. Probably got to play it again just to remember it. Probably should have did that for the main service, but I'm just going off my first initial memory. I got a C on both Acts 2 and 3, so apparently I do think they're pretty hard. I do think they're very hard for a reason. As for Act 2, Arid Sands Day Act 2. I think this is another one of those bottomless pit levels. I think, if I remember correctly. I got an A on there. Okay, not bad. I got an A. I think this is another one of those bottomless pit levels with a few trick ramps thrown in there. If I got an A rank, if I got an A rank, then it must not be very hard. But again, it requires those quick time events. Your reaction speed has to be on point for those quick time events, of course. Then we got Cool Edge Day Act 2. This is another one of the lap stages that I find to be very hard. Although I think I got an S rank on it after multiple like practice runs, I think. But I'm actually looking it up right now, guys. I actually have the game open. I'm looking. Yes, I got an S rank. I think my first time for instance, I think I got like a C. This is one of those lap stages. You have to do 3 laps. So reaction time, and just be careful. Okay, that's all I can say. Skyscraper Scamper Act 2. I remember this stage specifically because this stage gave me a lot of trouble. When I was trying to beat it the first time. Probably because I was just I'm so afraid of going fast. I was so afraid of going fast. Eventually, on one of my runs, I said F it. I decided to go fast, and I got an S rank on it. So I eventually got an S rank on it. But again, this stage is hovered across the bottomless pit. You have to do a lot of precise quick steps. Same thing. You know what? It's the same. Okay, calm yourself. Jungle Joyride Act 2. It's kind of the same as like Cool Edge Act 1, Act 2 as well. It's another lap stage, but the difference between the Cool Edge lap stage and the Jungle Joyride lap stage is the fact that I got S rank on this stage. Well, not true. I got S rank on this stage after a few attempts. I had to learn the layout. But again, your wall jumps are going to be tested. Basically, your reaction time for this stage is going to be tested. So keep your head on a swivel and be prepared. Be prepared to react quickly. Okay. Act 3, Jungle Joyride Act 3 is a straight shot stage is a straight shot quick step stage. This is going to help you train. This is going to help you train your quick steps. I beat this stage on my first playthrough before my multiple run-throughs of the stage. I beat this stage. I got S rank after multiple attempts. I didn't make all my attempts. I didn't even make it to the goal. I kept falling off. But each time I fell, I got further and further and further before eventually I passed it. Time your quick steps. If you want to boost, you can, but just be warned that one misstep, you're gonna fall off, and jumping back on the platform, on those walkways is going to be either easy or difficult depending on where you are on the stage. And then finally, we have Savannah Citadel Night Act 2. This is a tightrope section. This is a tightrope level suspended across a bottomless pit. My God, my brain literally was oozing out of my shoes trying to do this. But I did it. I got S rank on it. I'm looking at it right now. I did it and I got S rank on it. The best thing I can tell you to do about this stage is to take your time. Your first run through, take your time, collect all the collectibles that you see. On your second run through for S rank, still take your time, but take your time expeditiously, okay? And now, before we get into the extreme level, we're gonna go over all the bosses. So for these bosses, we have Savannah Citadel's egg beetle. I think it's the egg beetle, right? That's a daytime level, right? Yep. We have the egg beetle from Savannah Citadel. Okay, I got a B rank on it, and I haven't gone back to get S rank on it, so that's saying something. I don't think this boss is too difficult. It's not supposed to be because it's an early game level, but I don't think it's difficult, but it is challenging. It can be challenging for some players. I guess I'll put it in medium. Next up, we got a Spagonia Day. We got a Spagonia Day boss. I do not remember the name of these bosses. I don't play Sonic Unleashed all that much anymore now that I've platinumed it. I don't play it that much anymore. But the Egg Double Ray. I got an A rank on this apparently. So we got the Double Ray. The only thing you gotta worry about are his lasers. Right? The only thing you gotta worry about are the lasers. Whether you gotta jump through it or slide under it. That's really about it. That's really about it. Nothing really too special. I'll put him also in medium alongside the Egg Beetle. Next up, we got the Dark Gaia Phoenix for the nighttime level, for nighttime Dragon Road. Oh man, like okay, so a lot of these nighttime bosses I'm not gonna remember because again I haven't really played these bosses in a while. It's been a minute. I gotta see him this out. It's pretty difficult. I guess I took a bit too much time. All you gotta do for this boss, I'm gonna put it alongside the other bosses in medium. Take your time. Watch out for his attacks. That's about it. Up next we have looks like we have a Haluska boss. We have a Cool Edge boss. The Dark Moray. I gotta see on this as well. Same thing that I said for Dark Phoenix could be applied here. Take your time, look around your environment, and take your time, look around your environment. If Chip gives you a hint, follow the hint, and again just take your time, pay attention to what the boss is doing. That goes for all these bosses actually. Up next we have a Shamar boss. We have a Shamar boss. Gosh, I'm glad I know where these bosses are, so that finding their actual boss name is a lot easier. The Dark Guardian. All these bosses I gotta see on, except for the Egg Lancer. It's kind of interesting. Again, same thing for this. I guess I could put most of these bosses in about medium. Okay, and it also includes the Egg Lancer from Jungle Tourette. For all these bosses here, take your time, mate. Take your time, and just pay attention. Take your time, pay attention to the boss patterns, and you should be just fine. Okay. We're gonna again also for the Egg Dragoon. I got an A rank. I'm gonna put this also in medium. This was not really too hard, especially since I do have experience with that. I do have experience with that Sky Diving portion because of Sonic Generations. Although Sonic Generations is not the same. That part from Sonic Generations is not the same at all. I'm not gonna lie, not really the same. As for Dark Gaia, I could put that boss in hard, specifically because of that golem, because of the Gaia Colossus section. That section drove me mad and caused me to lose so many lives. That's about it. As for the tornado sections, I will put them both in medium because they're glorified quick time events. You are gonna have to like be on your game here. You're gonna have to be on your game. And last but certainly not least, the last stage in all of Sonic Unleashed. And the stage that I saved for last specifically because it's the only one that's befitting of the top of the tier list. Extreme. Eggman Land. The Eggman Land. Crimson Carnival Day. Crimson Carnival Night. Whatever you want to call it. It's going up there at the top of the list as the hardest level in this game. But trying to beat Eggman Land normally, I got a B. I was happy with that beat. I haven't gone back to even try to attempt to do this. But the reason why I put Eggman Land at the top, not just because of the base game, oh no. It's because of those hot dog missions. Oh my lord. The Eggman Land hot dog missions, but specifically the time trials, because that's all you have to do, you have to do 3 time trials, by the way. You have to do 3 time trials. In the 3rd time trial, you gotta finish in 45 minutes, which isn't terrible if you know what you're doing. But again, you're only going to know what you're doing if you have already failed through that time trial multiple times. And how the trials work in Sonic Unleashed, if you fail at any part in the trial, you're sent to the very start of the trial. It don't even matter if you got, it doesn't matter about the checkpoint, it doesn't matter if you got a single checkpoint. You're going back to the start of that trial, whether you like it or not. And on the Eggman Land time trial, this is brutal. You could get all the way to the end just before you fight that room full of enemies and fall in the yellow room, and you have to do all that over again. The 3 daytime stages and then the 3 nighttime stages, you have to do all those sections over again. Brutal. That's why I was so nervous about going for platinum, because I knew that the Eggman Land hot tub missions were going to drive me insane, and they did. They drove me insane. But Eggman Land on its own is difficult, but again, once you know what you're doing, it drops from extreme to probably down to very hard. But this is literally the most difficult Sonic level I've ever done. Harder than Cyberspace 1-2, and harder, definitely harder than Trial 5 and Trial 2 for Final Horizon. Definitely harder than those. For sure, hard, 2 times hard. Okay, my voice needs a break, but that's how I feel about each of these Sonic Unleashed levels. That's how I feel, okay? You might disagree with a lot of my placements, but again, that's my opinion. So just bear with me here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tier list. I promise you guys, I'm trying my best to I promise you guys, I'm trying my best to get Mugen back up and running so I can start taking requests. I still have to do Kung Lao versus Raiden, and Kung Lao versus Raiden, Kung Lao's still getting cooked. Kung Lao was getting cooked well before my other computer decided to die. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made this fun of the video, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys so much. Peace.